This video is about how to do your Week 8 end of quarter finale notepad assignment. So I've gone ahead and gotten started with the first two steps that you see here, which are to get my piece a title that describes what's happening in the music. I'm going to try and make it sound like falling water. And I'm the composer, so I've entered my name in the composer prompt. Moving on to the next prompt, I get to pick any one or more instruments that I'd like. Now if you should choose to use two or more instruments, you'll see that there's a note on the second page because different notes use different transpositions. That means that the notes get moved around, so the note that you see isn't the note that sounds. This is usually so the notes sit nicely on the staff. It gets a little confusing if you're trying to, like say write for trumpet and alto saxophone, that the note that the trumpet sees on their staff does not sound like the one the alto saxophone sees on their staff. So if you want to pick two or more instruments, either pick from the following categories, or if I don't have it listed, that means it's a concert pitch instrument, which means it does not transpose, and the note you see is the note that you hear. Otherwise, I said you only have to use one instrument. If you are completely confused by this, just use one instrument then. And that's actually what I'm going to do today. I'm going to use the trumpet, so we'll add, go on to the next screen, and then I said you can use any time signature that you'd like. So I'm going to pick 3/4 for today. So that would be 3 beats to the measure, and the bottom number, the 4 represents the quarter note, and so the quarter note gets 1 beat, or there's 4 counts and a whole note is also what that bottom number means. Click finish, and then I have a screen. Now I have for the next step that you need to use the following notes. You need to use D, E, G, A, or B. That means I could choose to use this D way above the staff. I could use this D on the staff. I could use that D. I could use any D that I want. You also don't have to use the notes in order. So in the next measure, I could go right on and use a G and then an E that I can shake up the notes, vary it in any order that I want. While I'm writing my notes, I need to use at least 3 different rhythms. Rests also count too. So if I want to put a rest in this measure, that's okay. Just don't write a piece that's all rest. Try and have, definitely more notes than you do rests if you're using some rests. I'm going to go on and continue writing my piece. I'm going to pause the video for a bit, and when I come back, I will have finished my 8 measures. Okay, I'm back, and I've now finished writing my 8 measures, and if I come back to the assignment page, that I have started and ended on the same pitch. So I started on a D, and I've ended on a D. Now, I could have also chosen to end on the D an octave lower, and maybe, you know what, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go up to the eraser tool, I'm going to click on erase, and I had a dotted half note there, so let's click on the half note, and then the dot, and let's end on the D an octave lower, and of course I clicked on the wrong note. Remember, you can zoom in if you go up to view, and that makes it oftentimes easier to click where you want to. There's my D at the end. Now if I continue on with the assignment, I have used at least 3 different rhythms. Yep, I've done that. And I have the correct number of counts in each measure. If I were to go back, I'd see 3 counts in each measure. Now the next step is to use the articulation tool to add at least 2 dynamics. So it says F or P, etc. Remember, dynamics are how loud or how soft the music is. So I'm going to go do that. I'm going to click on the note with it's an accent over the top of it. And then I'm going to click on the note that I want to change the dynamics on. So I clicked on my first note. I want that to be loud. I want it to start out forte. So it's going to pop up with the letter F. I can shift around where I want to see that, but even if I shift it all the way over here, when it plays back for me, it's still going to sound loud on that note because that was the note I put it with. Now it's going to play forte or loud until I tell it to do something differently. So I think right here I would like it to play piano, which is soft. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to click on piano. I can either double click on it or go up and click select. And now starting at this note, it's going to play piano until I tell it to do differently. But I don't want it to end piano. I'd like it to end forte. So let's come back and use forte. I could also use mezzo forte for medium loud, mezzo piano for soft, and so on. But I'd like it to end forte, so I'll double click on that. Now if I go to the playback tool, it's going to sound loud and then soft and then loud. And what's the last thing I need to do is to give my song a title that reflects what I hear. Well, I'm pretty happy with my title, but let's say I want it to be Falling Waters instead. So I'm going to come up to the letter A. It's going to pop up a text box. I'll double click on that, and it allows me to edit my title now. So I want it to be Falling Waters. And there it is. Good luck completing your own assignment.